So I know I said I'd be doing my next or all future videos while I'm here at the park down the road, but it's a little bit far from the bus stop that I'm going to hop on to go eat some dinner tonight. So I've come to just another random little patch of greenery in the city, and that's where we're going to be recording today's video. And also because I'm not too far from the street, you'll probably be hearing a bit of car noise, so I hope you're alright with that. Shouldn't be too bad because the traffic's not terrible at this time of day. But yeah, I just can't be particularly loud in this video. So today's topic is how to stop procrastinating. Now, this is an issue that I've heard a lot from people, pretty much everyone, but especially people with ADD, is that they find it really hard to stop or to actually sit down and start the work, and they keep putting it off and putting it off. And I've had some experience with this, and I've learnt some lessons, and I thought I'd just hop on today and share them with you. So let's dive right into it with my personal story, because this is actually going to be quite relevant to topic of this video. So I used to be a pretty bad procrastinator. Not a terrible one by any means, not as bad as I've seen some people. Some people can't even do the work until the night before. I was never really one of those people, but I would often just put it off, right? So I'm familiar with the mental gymnastics you go through when you're procrastinating, and I've also learnt workarounds. So in high school, I would procrastinate all the time, right? Not terrible, but just a little bit, right? Which is a common experience among people with ADD, even more so than with ordinary people from what I've heard. It was especially bad on the weekends because I would not be in that working mindset. I'm going to talk more about that later, how important the mindset is. But I would be in that kind of mindset of living my normal life on the weekends, even in high school. And that would mean that I would have a much harder time actually sitting down and getting the work done. So I just put it off. So on Friday night, I'd be like, it's Friday, I've worked all week, I'll take tonight off. And then on Saturday morning, I'd have the same. I'd say, I'll do it. But then I never did. And I'd say, okay, I'll just do it tomorrow. And then on Sunday, it would be a similar routine. I'd be like, no, I'll do it today. And then I just don't. Weak willpower. And I'm sure this sounds very familiar to a lot of people watching this video. But see, I'm here to give you some tips. That pattern of behavior that I just described, it led to me getting a substandard amount of work done, especially when it came to studying for tests. I missed out on so much study that I could have done. But real quick, before we continue with my story, I just want to remind you that in the description of this video, there will be my Discord username, and you can shoot me a friend request, and you can DM me questions and whatnot. I can give you personalized advice. We can have a chat if you've got any specific things you want to talk to me about. Anyway, let's get right back into it. I did research on why procrastination occurs after this, because it was just annoying me. I'm the kind of person who takes action on these things. So if something annoys me, I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna fucking figure this out. So I discovered that there are two main reasons why you procrastinate, right? You procrastinate because you're afraid of the work, or more so afraid of the consequences of the work. And you also use up all your brain's energy, or you don't have enough brain energy to actually, will yourself to sit down and get shit done. So let's go through that first point first, right? What makes you afraid of the work? Now, it might not be so much that you're afraid of the actual process of getting the work done. It might be more so that you're a perfectionist. I know that might seem a little bit crazy even, but someone who takes pride in their work, and you're worried about putting effort into it, submitting it to school or university or whatever, or with anything really, and it not working out, you're not getting the grade you want. That's what you're scared of. And I was exactly like this when I was in school. I really was really quite prideful thinking back on it. I never wanted to do anything except the best, right? So, and that would in a weird roundabout way or actually end up leading to me putting things off. And this might have not been a thought that really occurred to you before, but now that I'm saying it, you might be thinking to yourself, oh wait, actually that does sound like me. And that was a big issue for me. And there are the workarounds for this. We'll get into them later, and I'll make a full video on this in the future, but yeah, stay tuned for that. Let's get into the second reason now. So the second reason, this is the more important one that we're going to be touching on more in today's video, that, there's only so much you can do about not being afraid of the work. These steps that I'm going to give you are going to be more actionable, like you could apply them tomorrow. So I touched on this briefly in yesterday's video, but if you haven't seen that yet, let me just give you a quick refresher on the concept of your brain's energy. Right? So this is something that I don't really hear talked about nearly as much as it should be, but your brain has like an energy bar. You think about like a stamina bar in video games, and sleeping resets it. So if you've ever played, I don't know, fucking Stardew Valley, it's exactly like that. That's how I like to think of it. So your brain's energy is full in the morning, and as you do shit, as you make decisions, work through things, if you literally anything depletes your brain's energy throughout the day. And the higher the energy bar is, the easier it is to do hard things that your brain doesn't want to do. So my main tip would be oh yeah, no, it's not the right time of the video. We'll do the tips at the end. But once I improved my opinion of the work, like my perspective on the work, and that it didn't need to be perfect, and then I just accepted that I was moving uphill, I was like swimming uphill and this wasn't my thing, it became less scary to get the work done. And also once I started taking advantage of the way your brain's energy works, that also made it easier as well. So what I learned from my experience, I'm going to give a rough explanation of how to stop being afraid of your work. So these are the main tips, right? As I mentioned before, accept that you're swimming upstream when you're doing things like schoolwork. If you have ADD, if you have ADD, specifically tips for people with ADD. Accept that you're not in your natural element and that it is going to be hard for you, and to not put all that fucking emphasis on your self-image on your work, right? And your idea of yourself and your intelligence on your work. And also build up an aggressive, powerful mentality. Like, I'm gonna fucking destroy this work, right? You gotta stop being afraid of it. You might not realize that you're afraid of the work, but now after just watching the video, you might have a new perspective, and you might go back and be like, you know what? I gotta stop being afraid of this fucking work. I'm just gonna fucking destroy it, And yeah, as I mentioned before, full guide on mental health and the mindset you need to get into when you're working on things. There will be a full guide to that coming at some point in the future. Now, the thing you've all been waiting for: how to maximize your brain's stamina. Now, this is the main thing, right? This is the actionable step. This is the thing you can do tomorrow. So as I mentioned before, your brain's energy bar is at its fullest right in the morning, like right after you get up. Yeah, sorry, I'm not on very stable footing here. My apologies. But your brain's energy is at its highest when you first wake up after a good night's sleep. So my main tip would be reschedule your work to do it first thing in the morning, when everything's quiet and everything's dark and it's just you and your work. Because if you do it like this, there's zero fucking chance you're gonna procrastinate on it. Trust me, you can try this tomorrow. Zero chance you're gonna procrastinate on this work if you do it first thing in the morning, crack of dawn, jump out of bed, jump onto your computer or jump onto your book or whatever you're doing, smash it out. Because as I mentioned before, you can if you have ADD, doing work that you don't like is literally just like swimming upstream, right? And you think about how much easier it would be, or swimming upstream for your brain. Now think about how much easier it would be to swim upstream for your brain if your energy bar was full versus if it was, depleted. And the concept of your brain's energy bar, as I'm talking about it here, is not one that's discussed as much as it should be in today's, these days. Like, we can think of, I'm tired or whatnot, but we never really associate that with being less, productive on your work. And specifically things like making decisions, I've pretty much never heard anyone take into account how that impacts your brain and makes you less able to do things. But yeah, no, quick recap, right? Change your mindset on your work. Reframe it, accept that you're not going to be perfect, especially if you have ADD. And also, brain's energy, remember that concept, that's a key concept. Get your work done first thing in the morning before eating anything, and you will find you'll never procrastinate again if you just follow those 2 fucking tips. Anyway, that's about it for today. Just quick reminder, Discord in description. It's like the only link in the description as of when this video is going up. Anyway, yeah, thank you for watching. Catch you tomorrow. See ya.